Summer is here. Do you know how much water your landscape needs? You might be surprised because less is more. Mandatory summer watering restrictions are in effect May through August, and that means no watering from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and never on Sundays. Slowly increase watering your grass from 3 to 4 days a week and only add more days if you need it. For drip irrigated plants and trees, 4 days a week is plenty. Find water-saving tips at snwa.com. SNWA is a not-for-profit water agency. I was lucky when I moved to Las Vegas. I already had friends here and they introduced me to more friends, but I know how hard it is to meet new people, especially in Las Vegas, whether you're new to town or just want to expand your social circles. So today on CityCast Las Vegas, we're bringing back a conversation I had with Kayla Orr, creator of Black Girl Mixer, about how to make friends in Las Vegas. It's Tuesday, May 6th. I'm Sarah Lohman, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. Hey, before we get started, I gotta mention, one of the best new ways to make new friends is by becoming a CityCast Las Vegas member. You can go to membership.citycast.com to sign up. And the reason that this works is we hold special members-only events, like our trivia night. I was really amazed when we put teams of people together at different tables. Like, they collaborated, they laughed, they had a great time, and they made new connections in their city. We also literally got a handwritten note in the mail talking about how the people they met, they hope are going to become longtime friends. That's so nice. So CityCast Las Vegas neighbors care about the same things you do: local journalism, where to find the best tacos, what's happening with our parks and roads and schools. So you've got something in common even before you show up to one of our events. If you want to become a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor and get access to these member-only events, you need to go to membership.citycast.fm. Kayla, do you think it's hard to make friends in Las Vegas?
Absolutely not. I think that if you are intentional about the types of friends that you want, you will be successful finding friends here.
Oh, okay. So what do you mean by intentional?
First things first, you have to know what kind of friend you are yourself or what you are looking to bring to a friendship. I think oftentimes people move to Vegas and they just find friends for going out or just find friends for, doing recreational things. And I think it's important to decide how you want to show up in friendships and what you are expecting to receive from the friendships that you enter so that you can find better ones.
So are you saying it's like a good thing that I have like my going out friends and my pickleball friends, or is there something deeper there?
I think that is a perfect way to explain it. Not every person is for everything, but it also doesn't hurt to sometimes mesh those groups together.
Oh, I love that. I mean, do you think it's harder to make friends as an adult in general than maybe when we're like in college?
Yes, there is actually a scientific theory that I will not go into about how your brain chemistry works as a teenager when you attach yourself to people.
Oh.
You are truly attached to them. And we have a harder time filling that same type of void as adults than we would as adolescents or teenagers. I think that it's just natural. Like, as you progress in life, you have more worries, more responsibilities, more things on your plate. You just don't have the same amount of time that you would always have. And that's why I always harp on the intentionality behind it. Do you have the intention to make friends, like you intend to go to work or intend to get paid or intend to keep your bills paid? It should also be something that you are aiming to do.
So it's really a mindset. Like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to find new friends.
Yes, and I'm going to be a friend when I find those friends.
Oh. One of our producers, Layla Muhammad, she did a little bit of poking around. And, there's all of these headlines that there's like an epidemic of loneliness in cities and in Las Vegas. So in general, the number of people living alone has increased by nearly 5 million in the last decade. And interestingly, Las Vegas is considered the number 2 loneliest city in America. Part of the measurement is a high percentage of single-person households, which I am a single-person household. So I think that, like, alone doesn't mean lonely, too. But we got this idea because there are some Reddit threads, both in Vegas and other cities, about, like, I just moved here. How do I make friends? So, Kayla, do you think that Las Vegas can be a lonely place?
I think if you let it, Las Vegas could absolutely be a lonely place. I've been here for about 6 or 7 years and I've met a few people, but I had a young lady who came to a mixer and she said she moved to Vegas 17 years ago. And that was
Wow.
her first time deciding to really step out to visit an event, to attempt to meet people. She just didn't feel comfortable.
And what happened?
She made friends.
That's amazing.
I'm from Chicago, and when I moved here in 2018, I met people at work. I met other teachers, and we hung out, and it was fun, and they were nice, but it was something still missing, or just a little bit of connectivity that I wanted that I didn't have. But I felt like I picked a community to get involved with in Vegas. And that for me evolved really nicely. I think that the art community here is one of the best communities in Vegas. They're very welcoming. I go to really cool like open mic events and things of that nature. And that was how I started to meet people. I didn't know those people, but they were in such a vulnerable space. They were offering their poetry or singing to a room full of strangers. And it just made it so much more easy to be yourself.
Is that also what led you to found your business too?
Well, yeah, out of that, I would meet people here or there and I would hang out with them like maybe a solo friend date. And then they would be so cool. They would have so many talents or so many things they could offer. And I'm like, wow, this would be so great if I could get you to go to brunch with this person and this person can also join. And then I'm also the extra friend. So that turned into making flyers and, cute invitations or things of that nature because you need a cute invitation. And it kind of blossomed from there. Everyone just felt that they needed the same connection. And so people were willing to show up and willing to be in the space and do the work to make friends. And it worked out.
And that became Black Girl Mixer?
That became Black Girl Mixer.
You're like a friend matchmaker.
I like that. I like that. I like a friend concierge. I feel it.
Ooh. I love that. Is there something about like a city or a neighborhood that makes it more conducive to community than another?
I think that goes back to the idea of like what type of community you're looking for. If you do want something, really close knit where you guys are hanging together, maybe in your home versus outside of your home, then I do think that living in like close proximity to each other, that helps a lot. But I think that even in a place like Vegas where people, maybe you live in Summerlin and I live deep down in Hendertucky. So
me too. We're good.
Yes. So we could go to a coffee shop or a bookstore, something that's kind of easy, but I may have to plan for brunch or dinner with a friend that lives in Summerlin. But if I'm intentional about it, I can maintain both of those friendships equally.
Hey y'all, it's executive producer Sonia Cho Swanson. And before I went on mat leave last fall, I sent my parents and my in-laws each an Aura digital picture frame. And let me tell you, they are obsessed. I don't put my baby on social media, but I do upload her pics to her grandparents' frames in the Aura app. It's pretty easy. Like the other day, I uploaded a video of my daughter seeing butterflies for the first time at the Springs Preserve. So cute. And the whole family gets to share that memory forever. Sometimes my father-in-law will actually take a picture of his Aura frame and then text it to me when he sees a photo that he really loves. Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver mat frame. That's auraframes.com, promo code CityCast. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey CityCast, something I appreciate about the Cozy Earth Mother's Day sale is that they know motherhood looks different on everyone. So whether you're raising kids, dogs, or Kane, all moms work hard and they deserve comfort. So let me tell you about these Cozy Earth sheets. They feel like cool water in a sort of, is this the Ritz-Carlton or my own bedroom kind of way. The pajamas are what I imagine celebrity moms sleep in, buttery soft. You're looking for the right gift because the women who raised you feel like home, And they are going to love Cozy Earth bamboo pajamas, and I know this because it's 3:24 p.m. and I'm still wearing mine. To celebrate moms everywhere, Cozy Earth is supporting your favorite local podcast and giving our listeners a special promo. 45% off site-wide. This is a luxury brand, and that is a mind-blowing deal. Use Cozy Las Vegas to take advantage of 45% off at CozyEarth.com.
Okay, this is really, really, really it. This is the end of our spring membership campaign. Listen, you can sign up to be a member anytime, but it's only right now that you're going to get a really cute membership mug and an on-air shout out. So here's a shout out from CityCast Las Vegas neighbor David R., who says, Downtown Cinemas is a great independent movie theater in the heart of downtown that works with the local film community. That is so cool. I really do need to spend more time at Downtown Cinemas. So if you want to shout out a local business or organization, head over to membership.citycast.fm. Do you think that tourism makes it harder to find friends here in Vegas? There's just so many people from out of town all the time.
Yes, but I also think that that is like a secret hidden way to actually practice your introduction skills because you'll never see those people again.
Oh, tell me more. I love this.
So people, even for the Black Girl Mixer events, any networking event that I host, I get the caption or the comment often that, this looks so cool. And I really would have tried to come, but I'm just so nervous. I get anxiety. I have social anxiety, or I'm afraid to meet people. And I think that if you are not a go all in and do it no matter what kind of person, then you have to be I practiced it until I became good at it kind of person. I am a all-in kind of person. I'll talk to a stranger on the street. I don't care. Hey, friend. It doesn't matter to me. But for some people, they have to find a bit of comfortability in just speaking to strangers, people that they've never met before. And so I tell people, practice. Try it.
What are some good tips if you're meeting someone for the first time? Like say you and I were meeting at a mixer, we're meeting at the friend concierge. I'm a little nervous to just put myself out there. This is like speed dating for friends, right? So how would you go about meeting somebody new?
What first comes to mind is one of my first pieces of advice that I always give is to not tell people what you do for a living, but to tell people who you are or what you are working towards becoming. For example, if you come to a Black Girl Mixer or to any networking mixer, to any event, and you say something like, I'm a doctor or I'm a therapist. Oh, you're just the therapist in the group going forward. We can't really see past that. And you are so much more than a therapist. You're a gardener, you're a cousin or a sister or a poet. You do so many other things. So I tell people to lead with who they are, not what they do. Or when I tell people that I'm a teacher and then they immediately want to know, what is it like being a teacher? Well, today may not have been a great day as a teacher. So we don't need to start there.
So what would you say instead?
I would tell people that I am a friend maker or that I am a socialite. I'm trying to revamp the socialite aesthetic. Whenever I would think about it, it comes off as a bit snobbish or self-centered. When I think about it in terms of Sex and the City or cool shows that has socialites. But I'm trying to kind of bring that back to the light of cool things about your city. You're in the know about what's going on in your community. You can bring people together. So that's what I would tell people that I am. I wouldn't say that I am a teacher or a business owner. I would tell them I'm a socialite.
Ooh, I might start switching it over to, instead of saying, I'm a podcast host, I could start saying, I'm a bon vivant. I think that sounds good.
Okay, tell me more, because I want to know.
Oh, well, it means that I just have a joy in going out and trying things and a joy in life.
Oh my, and do you see okay, I know that we're supposed to be focusing on one thing right here, but that takes the conversation to a whole new place.
Okay, all right. So if people are trying to make friends here in Vegas, what are some other tips you have for them?
Come to a Black Girl Mixer.
Boom.
And I know in the name, it does sound like it is only for Black girls, but we do host events that are co-ed. We host events that are family friendly for people to bring their children. You can bring your coworkers. It doesn't matter your race, gender, what you adhere to. Not everything that we do is a private event just for Black women. So we do host community events and things of that nature. If you visit our website, we have a lot of things going on up there. And then, like I said, I think that getting out into the art community here, it's It's usually free and or cheap. It's not like, what you would spend on the strip to hang out. They normally host events in really cool places like the Arts District, and you get like the best of both worlds. You get community and art, lots of music, lots of food. Honestly, I would say go to First Friday. That's always a great start too. You bump into people, you meet vendors, you meet people that work, live, and contribute to what is Las Vegas. So those would be my stops.
Where do you park for First Friday? That was just that has been my anxiety about First Friday is where do I park?
No, that's understandable. I did learn, although I have not utilized this service, you can reserve your parking spot for First Friday now. They have an app for that.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll look into that too.
Las Vegas design lovers, this one's for you. On Saturday, May 10th, the Neon Museum is hosting a very special authors talk with Vegas legend Roger Thomas. He's a 5-time Architectural Digest AD 100 honoree and a member of the Interior Design Hall of Fame. But more importantly, Roger helped redefine the Vegas aesthetic, partnering with Steve and Elaine Wynn to transform those old dark maze-like casinos into luxurious spaces bursting with elegance, antiques, and drama. In this exclusive event, moderated by the Neon Museum's executive director, Aaron Berger, Roger's going to be discussing his stunning new book, Resort Style: Spaces of Celebration. It's a visual journey through the spaces that made Las Vegas iconic. Every attendee gets a free copy of the book and access to a book signing immediately following the program. So don't miss out on your chance to meet one of the most influential designers in Las Vegas history. Reserve your spot at neonmuseum.org. That's neonmuseum.org.
So, Black Girl Mixer, First Friday. Are there any other events in particular you think are great for meeting new people?
There are also other collectives similar to mine, like across social media, Facebook, Instagram. So I think whatever your medium of social media, wherever you like, I think that searching out those groups and then actually intending to attend things, just going online and seeing what's happening in your community near you, putting in your location on Eventbrite and seeing what's around you. And then last but not least, the farmers markets. We have some of the best farmers markets that you could imagine in Las Vegas. We have Prevail Marketplace. There's Fresh 52. There are also like the Tivoli Village markets, the LV Craft Show markets. They are amazing. So I would definitely try those. There's always something for everybody there. And then normally some kind of food truck deal where you just kind of hang out and meet and mingle.
So how do you meet or mingle with someone at an event like First Friday or like a farmer's market?
Now, this may only work for certain personalities, but my lead-in is always a general compliment. Love your haircut.
Oh.
Love those glasses. Where did you get those shoes? Even if it's just something eccentric or funky about their outfit, finding something to point out to propel you closer into the conversation that you actually want to have, I think is a good lead-in. And people are normally receptive to compliments. Who doesn't love a good compliment on the street?
That's so funny because I do that just because I'm always so touched when people say things like that to me. You know, I feel good when I'm like out in my earrings, whatever, and somebody. So like I always try to make a point if I'm thinking it to say it out loud to someone, even if they're totally a stranger.
Absolutely. And that is the start of a beautiful conversation if both parties let it blossom that way.
But don't be creepy about it, people.
Please
like,
don't be
chill.
weird.
Please don't be weird. Read the body language, okay? Like, see if they're receptive. If not, move on.
Move along. Yes.
You know, and I really liked your point about just following accounts on social media, like on Instagram. That was honestly fun. I'm going to plug our own newsletter because shortly after I moved here and CityCast launched, I started following the newsletter, which has tons of event listings, right? And so that was sort of a friend recommended it to me. And that was kind of my introduction to not just getting to know people, but getting to know Las Vegas, which is a part of it, figuring out in a way like what I liked or didn't. And then from there, like getting on Instagram, I follow the list.vegas. I follow DTLV. I follow Ferguson's. What are some other great accounts?
Nothing to do, LV.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
Nothing to do LV. She's also been on for one of our guides too.
Coco Jenkins. She's the bomb.
Yeah. Oh, she's so great. Her Instagram's hilarious. Coco Jenkins has so many good recommendations and is also like just doing so much in the city. Her whole mission website, Nothing to Do LV, is great. Majestic Theater, like one kind of leads to another because there's so much collaboration here. BMI, Black Mountain Institute, is another good one too.
Yep. There are also a lot of nature-based collectives out here. We just hiked with Black People Hike. There's Grace Run Club. There are run clubs people like to run. I like that all of these new collectives are coming about and people aren't afraid to just build something and see who comes and see what people join them. And you're welcome to show up. And if it works for you, then you keep coming back. And if it doesn't, you try something different.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, there's also Springs Preserve has free classes. Wetlands here in Hendertucky has low-cost classes. Do you have a recommendation for how people find like those groups? Like you mentioned that there's like a Black women's running group, right? So like, how do I find something? Like I've heard of groups that are like for women and you go learn like a new skill or something like that. How do I find groups like that?
I would say, I don't know if it counts as social media per se, but I know a lot of people use the Meetup app and Eventbrite.
You know, and I've even noticed that there are a couple other institutions that have mixers. Like there's an arts mixer once a month. There is even a sort of like singles and friends mixer, which is a little confusing, that was at, I think, Ada's recently too. So like there are more like mixery events popping up. If someone does feel a little nervous about going, what might you tell them to sort of pump them up to like give it a shot and go to Black Girl Mixer or go to any other mixers that are popping up in the city?
And again, I guess this is just my teacher mentality. I have a lot of students that, high school is nerve-wracking. Being a teenager is nerve-wracking, and you have to show up and do the thing if you want to see that change. If you allow things to stay the same and you don't make a move, that's exactly how things will remain. So for that question, I don't have any other advice besides get out there and do it. Get outside of yourself. Find something to center in on. Find one thing that you aspire to leave with or, to understand differently when you go. Like give yourself a task, but you have to show up.
So why are friendships important for anyone living in Las Vegas?
I love this question. I actually just spoke at a seminar about this. Friendships have actual health benefits. People who have friends live longer. People who have friends live longer than people who have money. And the way that the world is going right now, we are all working really hard to make money. But we need to be working just as hard to maintain community. It literally sustains us. It keeps us alive and well. You cannot survive without friends. It's impossible.
I love that, Kayla. Thank you so much. And I really hope that some of this discussion has helped somebody out there to find a wonderful friendship.
Me too. Me too. That was no one can see me doing my happy dance.
I laughed. But it was such a good happy dance. It was like a little shoulder shake kind of shimmy. It was great. It was perfect. Thank you, Kayla.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been great.
A huge thank you to all of our brand new CityCast Las Vegas neighbors. I can't wait to see you at our next event. And if you want in on the party and a chance to meet some like-minded folks around town, you can join too at membership.citycast.fm. And that's all for today here in CityCast Las Vegas. If you enjoyed this show, why not tell a friend and then go meet some new friends? You can rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Take care.
I just recently downloaded Threads.
I did too. They got me.
Bad idea.
I know it's Twitter all over again, but it's not as bad. The scrolling is back.
Yeah, and I felt like most of it was just an outpour of people who were looking for friends.